Just when you thought he was gone forever, Vincent Kennedy McMahon has stated that he wants to come back to the WWE. He is saying that he was given bad advice by people close to him, probably Stephanie and Triple H, and Nick Khan, so that they can all just fucking take over and steal the fucking company from Vince and push him out of the way, because he's a fucking weirdo old man who is behind the times, and it's time for him to go. But he is not ready to go quietly yet. In fact, look, I'm shocked that dude even went away to begin with. You know, I would have thought his whole approach the whole time would have been, it'll blow over. I think that's where it started, but as the cases kept coming, he finally stepped down, and the cases are still coming. So I don't know how he thinks he can slide his way back in, but this came out in regards to the Wall Street Journal story that broke that two more people are now suing Vince McMahon for damages from alleged sexual assaults. This includes Rita Chatterton, the first female referee that accused Vince of rape back in the 80s. She's coming out now, and she wants a piece of the pie. And then some other bitch. I don't fucking know. This is going to continue. Every chick that Vince ever had sex with is going to come out of the woodwork and try to get a piece of that big money pie that Vince McMahon's sitting on. And it could be really bad for Vince. This could just keep happening until he's fucking like bankrupt. You know what I mean? Like, they can suck him dry for all he is worth. But yet, despite all of this, he is wanting to come back to WWE. And I don't know if he just feels like he can just stroll through the front door and fucking take right back over. Let's take a look at this clip from Bryan Alvarez as he kind of gives his thoughts on the situation over at Wrestling Observer Radio.
Despite his retirement, McMahon remains WWE's majority shareholder. In the Wall Street Journal story that was published today, it is noted that McMahon has told people that he, quote, intends to make a comeback to WWE. McMahon feels that he received, quote, bad advice from people close to him and thinks the allegations would have blown over if he didn't step down. Well, these two new allegations suggest that wouldn't happen, but that's what he thinks. And then it goes on and on.
So Vince McMahon is the majority shareholder in WWE. So he owns the majority of the company. And regardless of who's running it or who told him to go away, Vince is the biggest. He has the biggest slice of that fucking pie that everybody's coming for, right? Like, he's still the majority owner. And with that comes a lot of influence. Now, can Vince just stroll right through the back door and just sit back down at Gorilla Table and fucking throw the headset on and be like, well, I'm back now? No, not exactly. So as the majority shareholder, he has a lot of sway. He can influence the board of directors, but ultimately this decision is up to the board of directors. If they don't want Vince McMahon in there, then they're not going to let him back in. You know, they are who appoints the chairman and the CEO, and they are the ones who make these kind of big decisions. You know, Vince was in a position where he left, but if he wouldn't have left, he probably would have been asked to leave by the board. It was a coup in a sense, right? Like the board overthrew Vince, and rightfully so, because he was creating a lot of bad press, and he's continuing to create bad press. You know, Vince McMahon is in a lot of trouble, and it's heat on the company, and it's better to step aside and let the company continue to function. He's right to an extent that this will eventually blow over. You know, people are talking about it now, but once the people stop coming out of the woodwork trying to sue Vince, people are going to forget about this. You know, they'll remember, but it's not going to be like, whatever. You know what I mean? It's the same, like, think about Ric Flair, you know? Like, how irate was everybody and canceled Ric Flair when he was, that Dark Side of the Ring came out and he was showing his penis to the fucking chick on the plane. Nobody cares anymore. They're over it. You know what I mean? So, yes, Vince McMahon, people will remember the things that he did, but I still think at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, he will be loved and admired regardless because he's Vince. But he cannot just walk through the door and come back. He's going to have to go through the board of directors. Now, being the majority shareholder, he has a lot of influence on the board of directors. And quite frankly, I believe he can, I mean, he's the one who physically placed those people there. And I'm sure they're going to be sympathetic to Vince McMahon, to say the least. But, you know, I do believe he has the authority to remove board members as well as the majority shareholder. It's not going to happen. He wants to come back. Too late. He's gone. It's over. So I don't foresee this happening, but we all know Vince. He's stubborn as all hell. He never gives up. He loves a good fight. He's not going to go quietly off into the fucking sunset. Vince McMahon is going to fight this to the very last breath. And if that's what he was going to do, he should have never left. You know, if he was going to take somebody else's advice and leave for the betterment of the company, then he needs to fucking stay on. But he's Vince, and he won't. He's going to try not to anyway. But fat chance getting the board of directors to remove Stephanie and Nick Khan and appoint Vince McMahon. It's just not going to happen. Now, maybe they appoint him like chairman, and then they keep Nick and Steph as CEO. CEO does not need to be the chairman, you know. But time will tell. But what do you guys think? This whole Vince McMahon shit. And are we gonna? I'm sure we're gonna get more and more leaks and scandals. And we got more on Vince McMahon. We're gonna take a look at the Vice documentary that came out this week as well. So lots of Vince McMahon stuff to get into, but I want to know your thoughts. Go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. Will Vince be back in the WWE, or is he gone forever? And should he be back, or should he be gone forever? Let me know. On to the next. Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.